Good evening, ladies and Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Abby Witt alongside Kylie Gorby here on the campus of Asbury University in Wilmore, Kentucky. We've got some great soccer action coming at you. The Eagles are going to be taking on the Shawnee State Bears tonight. We've just witnessed the women's game finish with a good 3-2 victory. Kylie, you ready for the game?
I'm ready. I'm so happy to be here tonight. As a student athlete, I'm really excited to get to cover the sports this year and just let our viewers see a new perspective of Asbury athletics. The girls team, once again, as Abby said, just came off a great 3-2 victory. They are now 3-0 against Shawnee State and have a 2-0 record for the season. Meredith Urey had a great game for the Eagles, showing up big with 2 goals. Abby got to catch up with Coach Brooke Lincoln after the game. So, Abby, can you fill us in on that a little bit?
I did. Coach had some great things to say. Even though Asbury is now 2-0 in their standings, their last game against Ohio Christian wasn't the best situation. She did tell me it's a lot different when you're playing on a good field, and tonight it was a good field. Ohio Christian kind of stumped him up a little bit because of how it was going. She also said the aggressiveness of Shawnee State really played off on Asbury. It made them play harder, made them run faster, and they were ready to play tonight. She also mentioned some things that the team's been doing lately, and she really wants to focus on not just winning, but affecting people on the field in a positive way, and she really is passionate about that, you can tell. So one thing that they've been doing, they went on a mission trip recently. They gave Gatorade bottles away to the kids who needed it, and each little Gatorade bottle, get this, had a player's testimony on it.
So that is so creative.
That just shows one little thing that Asbury does a little bit differently than other schools. Kylie, you're a student athlete. You play basketball. Tell me about that. What are some things that Asbury does differently in the way that we run our programs?
It's such a blessing to get to be an athlete here at Asbury. It's a totally new experience from high school. I went to a public school, and getting to go to a Christian school here where you're surrounded by other people who see the same things the same way you do, it's just a great experience and really helps you grow in your faith. You will see here in just a minute that before games, we start off with a prayer. One of our athletes will pray us into the game. And then after the game, you may also get to see the athletes pray out of the game and give a testimony after the game.
I'm excited for it. It's just another team unity thing that Asbury does really well, and it rubs off on not just the team, not just the spectators, but the entire school, everybody who's here to watch. So let's talk about the men's team getting ready to play. They're really excited. They're ready for the game. Unfortunately, they just came off a loss from Union College. It was a heartbreaking blow, but I think they're ready to play. Do you think so?
I think so, too. The Eagles lost in double overtime last game. I can say as an athlete that is heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that just keeps you motivated, though, and keeps you hungry and keeps this drive going for you. I believe that the Eagles are going to really come back strong. They've seen a lot of leadership from goalkeeper John Burns, who made some amazing saves. John Burns was actually last week's KIC Player of the Week, and Garrett Davis was also the offensive KIC Player of the Week.
They've been playing amazing.
A strong team.
Yes, they're very strong, and they're ready to play. Fun little fact for you, Asbury was picked to place 3rd in the KIC preseason poll. I think they can beat it. I think they've got the heart, and they're willing to work, to go the distance, to make it, win the championship. They're ready to play.
I really think they can, too. One thing that's really special about our soccer teams here, both the men and women's team have a lot of local players out from Nicholasville, Kentucky, players who played at East Jessamine and West Jessamine and many of the Lexington schools.
Mm-hmm.
So in college, it's very rare that you see student athletes that have played together through middle school, through high school, and go to college together, and that's such an advantage against other teams.
It helps the teams. They already know how each other plays. They've been playing 10-plus years, some of the guys have been. I talked to them last night, and that helps them on the field. They know how each other's going to play. They know where you're going to go, and it's great. It's really great.
It helps you identify strengths and weaknesses. And I truly just believe that coming off last week's loss, I'm really excited for this game. I'm excited for the intensity. The guys have been playing really hard. It's going to be a great and promising season. We have tons of fans out here tonight. I can say soccer gets some great fans compared to all of our other sports. It's actually a whiteout tonight, so you'll see some great shots of that tonight. I'm just really excited to be bringing coverage to our viewers this season.
Yeah, soccer, you can definitely tell, is one of our fan favorites here at Asbury. Unfortunately, we don't have a football team, and that's usually the big fall sport around this time. Soccer, it's a big sport here at Asbury. Everybody loves it. The community comes out. It's not just the students. It's a great time to fellowship and just be together.
Asbury definitely sticks to the community relationship.
Yes.
I can say all the sports teams are very close-knit and tight. and everybody knows everybody's names. It's a great experience. And speaking of bringing coverage to you this season, we actually have some new sports teams joining us this year. I'm going to let Abby tell you a little bit about that.
This is brand new here at Asbury. We had no clue this was going to happen, but we're proud to welcome men's and women's lacrosse. And this is a big sport, you can already tell. The players, I don't ever see one without their stick. I feel like it's connected at their side. It's like their staff. But they're loving it, and one of the new media teachers, he's one of the coaches for the women's team, and I know he's really excited. The girls, they're loving it. I have some close friends on the team that have never played lacrosse before, but it's just a welcoming environment, I feel like. It's new, and they're embracing the fact that it's a new sport here. And something else that's new, Kylie, why don't you tell us about the new Fly Pack squad, why we're here tonight?
We have gotten new equipment with our media communications building that's allowing us to bring some close-up shots of athletes, to pick up some audio on the field, and to be able to bring you coverage and commentating to the game. And with that being said, we're just really excited for this game tonight. I'm so excited to be previewing some sports to you throughout the season. We're hoping to add more to our production, and it's going to be a really exciting season. I'm very, very excited for it.
I am as well.
We are currently a minute away from the start of the game. We'll be seeing the national anthem, and you'll get to see a prayer, and it's going to give you a little bit of perspective into Asbury athletics.
Asbury University as a whole. Soon the players are going to be walking up center field, and they're going to take the stands. I'm excited for the game, Kylie. The women's game got me really excited. They got a win. Unfortunately, I just heard that one of the co-captains was injured a little bit, and hopefully that's not going to shake up the team too much. But I know the men, they're ready to play, and they're ready to get their win as well.
Soccer is definitely a sport that relies a lot on injuries. I know Craig Moberly is not starting tonight. He came off an injury from last game, so we're hoping to see some action out of him. He's had major minutes from both seasons, and I'm just really excited to see what this science holds in store. With that being said,
thank you guys for tuning in, and at this time, welcome the national anthem. Turn around. Welcome to Asbury University, home of the Eagles, where we're getting ready to witness Shawnee State University take on Asbury for the second time tonight. We just finished watching the women take home a nice needed victory against Shawnee State. Now we're hoping the men can do the same.
We are now preparing for starting lineups. As you can see, both teams are coming out to center field. This is something that's unique to soccer.
I think it's a good way to present the team before it starts, for you to see the faces, kind of see, you can see the intensity right now. I'm looking at John Burns, and he is ready to play, you can tell.
I agree. I think it's really great to be able to put a name to the face.
Yes.
When I watch sports, sometimes I get lost. I want to be able to tell who somebody is by their face, not just the number.
Exactly. And look, I'm looking at senior Garrett Davis. He's got that intense look right now. Billy Congleton, they're ready. Asbury is ready tonight.
Garrett Davis has been huge for the Eagles here lately, scoring several goals. I'm really excited to see the leadership he shows this season.
Me too. Me too. Shawnee, let's go with the national anthem.
You're so amazing. You truly blessed us. We love you. In your name we pray. starters first for the Bears.
First for the Bears, number 3, Josh Jackson. Number 5, Ben Pulsford. Number 9, Dylan Stevens. Number 10, Joseph Webster. Number 17, Avery Patton. Number 21, Mark Hergenrather. Number 22, Tanner Hopwood. Number 24, Marcio Solis. Number 30, Clement Osebansu. Number 33, Justin Maumeister. And number 64, Connor Sherman.
Now up, we have your Asbury Eagles.
And now for the starters for your Asbury University Eagles.
It should be a good game today, and the Eagles have some good stars to bring to the table tonight.
First up, we have number 8. Number 8, Stephen Mitchell. Number 4, Jesse Peterson. Up next, Stephen Mitchell, number 8. And now, Austin. Next up, Chris Israel. A senior from Versailles, Kentucky, number 13, Garrett Davis. Another senior, Billy Congleton. Number 25, Landon Brown. And then number 26, John Moran. Up next, number 28, Jared Rocco. I'm excited to see what this team has in store tonight.
John Burns is serving as the goalkeeper tonight for the Asbury Eagles.
Asbury has not had some good luck with their goalies this season. Unfortunately, senior Nick Grounds was injured not too long ago, and we'll actually have him later on in the show at halftime. He's going to be joining us, talking a little bit about the team, talking about his injury a little bit, but John's really stepped it up.
John Burns has been great for the Eagles this season. Last game, he had 7 saves, and last week he had 5 saves coming off a 2-0 victory and was named KAC Defensive Player of the Week, as earlier said. He started most of the season last year for the Eagles and just has really stepped up.
I feel like John's confidence has grown a lot this season. Last season, you know, he's still kind of young, still kind of getting into the groove of it, just playing varsity. Now, they're relying on him. They're relying on him to play well, and something John does really well, he plays with confidence. And for a player to play with confidence, knowing he is really the only one, he does have a lot of pressure on him, so that's good that he does that.
Yeah.
He just plays better because of it.
That being said, we need to really pick up the defense and keep the ball from getting into the box so much and quit putting so much pressure on John.
Exactly, exactly. I feel like we have some strong players who are able to do that for John. They take away a little bit of pressure from him. Billy Congleton, he's one to watch. Billy's strong.
Very strong foot.
He is a very good defensive player. He's a tank, and he's one who can stop. I'm excited to see how Billy plays tonight. I watched him in the Union game a couple days ago, and he did fantastic. He was a real powerhouse for Asbury. He had an assist to the first goal of the game to Garrett Davis, and he's just playing great right now.
Yes, definitely. Nobody is going to run Billy over. That's for
That
sure.
is for sure. Shawnee State takes the ball down the field. Number 24 coming up, crosses over to number 10. Now coming up the right wing with Shawnee State. Feels a little pressure, I can tell. Passes over.
Asbury Eagles are charging on strong, really putting pressure on Shawnee State Bears.
They are coming up the left side of the field now with Shawnee State. Up, stopped by John Moran, sent back down the field.
I really like the way John Moran plays. You'll see throughout this game that he brings so much intensity, so much hustle, really plays with a lot of heart.
The kid has heart. That is, he's stepped up this season. Last season, he was a freshman, kind of getting into the groove of things, and now he's one of the hardest workers.
No doubt. Last season, John Moran really received very little varsity playing time.
Very little.
But I was always told by coaches, by players, that he is just a workhorse, and that'll take you a long way.
It looks like Shawnee State has a player down at the moment.
Now, but as soon as we see that, we'll give it to you.
Number 9, Dylan Stevens, Jr., out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio. He's a big defensive player.
Good to see him standing back up.
That's good.
As earlier stated, soccer is definitely a sport where injuries are common.
Injuries are common every second of the game.
Health is vital to the success of a soccer team.
Goalie John Burns now has the ball. A little scoop up now. John's really good also about where he puts the ball after.
Stepping in as a sophomore and is being very contributive to this Asbury Eagles team.
Number 25, Landon Brown, passes over to sophomore John Moran, and he gets past Shawnee State, but on the left side of the field, we see him coming back up. Chris Israel, a kid who plays with so much pressure and intensity. He is a great player, and we just witnessed that intensity just now.
Chris Israel can run 4 days.
He can.
He is in great shape. He can fly. I've been told that he was having a little bit of trouble with an injury, but the way he was running there, you couldn't tell.
He looks fine. Chris, he is one of the most conditioned players on the team, without a doubt.
No doubt. He is also a senior for Asbury.
He is. Now we have Shawnee State with the kick. Number 9, Dylan Stevens, the one who just went down. And the ball is hit by Asbury. And it is taken by number 8, Stephen Mitchell. A little 50-50 ball, and Stephen wins. Back to Shawnee State with the throw-in.
It always makes me nervous seeing the ball in the box.
When the ball gets in the box, I feel like everybody gets nervous, Kylie.
I agree 100%.
But one thing Asbury has done really well, their defensive players are always around the goal. They are always there to support John. He's not alone, and that really helps when it comes to the defense that Asbury shows. Now Shawnee State coming off the left side of the field, number 9, Dylan Stevens. Jesse Stevenson, Jesse Peterson eyeing him. Over to number 24 and stopped by number 9, Austin O'Brien.
We really have a unique combination out in the field right now. For being such an experienced team, we have 9 seniors on the team this year. We also have 8 freshmen. And right now, we have very few players who actually aren't just seeing experience for the first time.
Exactly. Asbury is really good about going deep in their lineup.
You would never be able to tell that they haven't seen field experience, though, by the way they're playing.
One freshman to watch if he gets in the game tonight, Grafton, he played against Union, and he was a great player. He was a good offensive player. That's another person who can run for days. He's well-conditioned as well, just like kind of like Chris.
See a very promising future for him.
Yes, I do too. I agree with that. Asbury kicks it into the box, and it is stopped by Shawnee State. Jesse Peterson on and Chris Israel, and the ball is now out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Asbury University. Chris Israel takes it over to Jesse Peterson. He's coming up the field. Crossover back to Chris in the box, and it is in the goal. It was a great, great play by Asbury University. That's one thing Asbury does well. They're so good in the air. When the ball's coming in and it's dropped in the box, they really do use their heads.
I believe that may be Austin O'Brien's first goal for the season.
That is Austin's first goal for the season. Austin was a transfer in last year. He actually played Division I soccer, and he has been a real asset to Asbury.
Saw some great mints from him last year. He did not start last game, but we're seeing him starting this game off very well.
I heard coming into the season, Austin was he wasn't in the best shape he has been, but he's slowly getting back. And here the ball comes back up. Asbury with it. It is passed up the field. Back to Shawnee State. Chris Israel takes the ball onto Jesse Peterson. Jesse dribbles over to number 13, Garrett Davis. The ball's deflected by Shawnee State. Now we have Stephen Mitchell with the ball over to John Moran. Back up to the center field, back down to John Moran. And he passes over at Billy Congleton. Takes the ball, deflected again by Shawnee State over to the left side. Now we have Austin O'Brien with the ball. He's dribbling up. He's coming in the middle. He kicks over to Garrett Davis, who kicks the ball up, and it is out. That was a really close shot, Kylie.
pretty impressive save with his foot.
That really was. I feel like Shawnee State is putting a lot of pressure on Asbury right now. And
Both ways. Garrett Davis is a great offensive player.
He
Obviously,
is.
he was named KIC Player of the Week for the offensive award last week. And Garrett Davis, when he has the ball, he is an attacker. He is going at the goal.
something else that Garrett does really well, he knows where to put the ball.
Great passer.
Great passer. He can make plays, and he sees where the ball needs to be. He sees where the players are, and he really works off that. That's something I really like about how Garrett plays.
I'm always impressed with just the footwork that these guys have.
Yes, they have amazing footwork. Now we have the ball over to the right side of the field, and it is kicked into the box and missed.
That was Adam Howard who had the miss there. Adam Howard is from the Jessamine County area, played at West Jessamine, and he actually played on a semi-pro team this past summer out of California.
Yeah. Something about Adam, he's really strong with his free kicks, and he creates his own space very well. But he is like a tank, and he will create that space if he sees an opening. Shawnee State with the ball, trying to get around number 13, Garrett Davis. Passed over, taken back over to the right side of the field. He's dribbling up the court, coming up the middle field. And John Moran hustles.
Number 30 for Shawnee State can fly. Did you see him flying up that sideline?
He is a fast sucker. He's one to watch. I feel like he's going to be one of the first ones to score. He's one of their fastest players. He's one of their best offensive players.
Speaking of Adam Howard, I really expect a lot from him this season. Just knowing that he's a senior, that he had a summer of playing semi-pro ball, which is a great experience, playing at a whole new level. I really just expect him to just really take over this season.
I agree with you, Kylie. I feel like that moment of play for him, whistle, and the goal does not count. There was a push by Shawnee State, which really worked in favor for the Eagles just then.
Definitely call that worked in their favor.
Yes, we have now Austin O'Brien coming off the left side of the court. You can tell he's trying to figure out where to go with it. Passes over to number 25, Landon Brown. Back to Austin. And he dribbles up the left side. Passes up to Billy Congleton. He dribbles. Billy's feeling some pressure from Shawnee State right now, and he is on the breakaway. He is, that's heartbreaking, Kylie.
It appeared to be a little bit of a trip up to me.
I feel like you're right. One thing about soccer that I do love, intensity. Every team, every player.
Looks like the goal, or that the ref acknowledges call. There is a free kick being made
by Billy, and Billy is great with free kicks. He's got one of the strongest legs on Asbury's team, him alongside Craig Moberly. They're two of the strongest legs that Asbury has. And actually the goal against Union, the first one that he assisted to Garrett Davis, that was a free kick. And
Adam Howard with a near miss there.
John Moran on the ball for the Asbury Eagles. He's looking up the field, and he passes over to Adam Howard, who's over to Jesse Peterson.
Jesse Peterson is very crafty. Very crafty.
Jesse Peterson is a great player. He's one of those players. He's fast. He's great offensively. He's intense. I love watching Jesse play.
He has great feet.
He does. John Moran passes back up, missed by Garrett Davis, back down. Oh, now Garrett's taking it up the middle, over to Billy Congleton, back to Garrett, and saved by Shawnee State.
One thing that looks promising so far is that the Asbury Eagles have got many more shot attempts than Shawnee State.
They have, and I feel like that's going to work in favor for the Asbury Eagles tonight. Head by Chris Israel over back to Shawnee State, and the ball's out of bounds. The ball will now be with the Asbury Eagles.
I think it's crucial that the Eagles got that early lead.
I think you're right, Kylie. It gives them that little extra boost of confidence that they need going into the rest of the game. Asbury, and the shot is taken and deflected by Shawnee State, saved by the goalie. Now, you can tell Shawnee State, they're a little shaken up. They don't know what to do. Asbury's putting way too much pressure on them. The ball's kicked, hit by number 8, Stephen Mitchell, Austin O'Brien sends it over to the middle to Garrett Davis, who sends it over to number 25, Landon Brown. Back to Shawnee State, and again, Landon Brown and Shawnee State going at it back and forth a little bit there.
Struggling to get control of the ball right now.
Yep. John Moran over to Chris Israel coming up the right. Peterson. He's dribbling around, working that crafty footwork. Garrett Davis with a stop. He's
feeding it up the court into the corner, crossed into the box, and
deflected
headed
by Shawnee State. Now Shawnee State brings it up the left, crossing over to the middle. Back down to the left side of the field. Over to number 17, Avery Patton. Shawnee State looking for that first goal. They're nearing the box, and John Moran uses his great defensive ability right there and takes that player down.
I've really just been impressed with John Moran. I know I've already brought him up, but just the way he plays, the hustle he plays with, he has no fear. He just attacks. He goes head on.
Exactly right.
That's something that's very admirable.
He's a great defensive player. Great defensive player.
The Eagles are setting up to play some intense defense right here.
You can see Chris Israel bumping up a little bit with Shawnee State over there. And saved by number 25, Landon Brown.
Landon Brown is another player who is just now getting minutes. Last year he didn't see any varsity playing time, and he has started past several games for the Eagles.
Landon's playing really well this season. And the ball is now out of bounds with Asbury Eagles. Send it over to John Moran with the throw-in. He's got strong arms. He's good with the throw-in. He's trying to make a play over to number 25, Landon Brown. Oh, and sends the ball into the audience, and it is caught.
I don't know about you all, but I think it's great getting to see these close-up shots.
Right now, number 17, Avery Patton throws it in for Shawnee State. He's trying to make a play. He sends it in, and John Burns with the save.
John Burns with a strong kick.
Sends it up. Shawnee State now has the ball. Number 9, Dylan Stevens, sends it over to the right side of the field.
32 minutes left here in the first half.
Something about Shawnee State, they're really working the left side. Have you noticed that? They're coming up every single time, and it hasn't really worked well for them yet.
They're really working the sidelines, and the Eagles, on the other hand, have been really strongly working the middle.
Oh, some fancy footwork by Adam Howard over there. Garrett Davis sends it back down to John Moran. Sends it up to Chris Israel to Garrett Davis. Over to Adam Howard on the left side of the field. Sends it up to Jesse Peterson. Over to number 25, Shawnee State. Number 21 for Shawnee State. Now has the ball over to number 30. Number 30 again, he's working the entire field for Shawnee State. You'll see him, he's all the way over here with John, and then he always comes back on defense. He's all over the field.
That's the thing about the players who play the right and left wing. They run the whole field.
The entire field.
You really have to be in shape to play that position.
Number 25, Landon Brown, sends it back down to number 8, Stephen Mitchell. Taking a little break in the action. Jesse Peterson with the ball over to Chris Israel. A little 50-50.
The Eagles have actually played against Shawnee State twice before and have a 2-0 record against Shawnee State.
I feel like that little tidbit, already having 2 wins on them in the past times that they've met, is going to give Asbury a little bit more confidence going into this game.
I think it gives them a mental advantage. I know last season that the Asbury Eagles beat Shawnee State 2-1, and I think just having that mental advantage over them, knowing that, hey, we've won, we beat you all twice, we can do this again.
I'm ready to play you a third time. And something about soccer that the women's team does really well, their coach always says that you can't play physically unless you know how to play mentally. And I think that's something that is really beneficial for the team. Now we have Shawnee State with a save over to John Burns.
Even though I see the 2-0 record against Shawnee State as an advantage, I also think that drives Shawnee State. And I know I've always been told in basketball, I'm an athlete here at Asbury. I've always been told it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row.
Exactly.
And that will definitely be tough tonight.
I feel like Asbury, they're ready to play, though. They've got it. I feel like that loss to Union gave them a little bit of a boost that they needed going into this game.
I like the quick goal by Austin O'Brien, kind of coming out and making a statement early.
Look
saying,
at that
hey,
strong
we're here,
kick
we're ready to play.
by Stephen Mitchell. Sends it over from the Asbury bench down to the goal. The Shawnee State goalie sends it back down the field. Over to number 26, John Moran.
They're working the ball up the field, and it's out of bounds.
Now it is Shawnee State ball.
possession. Some people are
And it doesn't even bother him.
Adam Howard's really been working the middle there. His sister actually plays for the women's team, Toria Howard.
Toria had a great game this last game that started at 5:30 against the Shawnee State women's. Toria and her brother play a lot alike. Have you noticed that?
They do, they do.
Now Chris Israel coming up the field over to Billy Congleton, bringing up the right wing. Over to Jesse Peterson. He's in the box. He's going for it, and he
strikes. Oh, right over the
barely
top of the
missed.
goal. Such a close miss.
That's surprising coming from Jesse because whenever he gets the ball and he's ready to score, he's really good at putting the ball where he wants it to be
He
in
has
the
great
net.
control.
He has very good control.
He was receiving a lot of pressure there. That was not an open shot.
That was not.
He was really crafty to create that shot for himself.
He is. Now we have a corner kick coming from Asbury University. Taken.
Ball sails into the box.
Number 25, Landon Brown with the ball. Over to John Moran. Now coming up the left side of the field, over to Billy Congleton. Billy uses that strong leg he has to flex it off of Shawnee State. Shawnee State with the ball, passes it back down. Hit by Garrett Davis.
The Eagles, another thing, we've been talking about just the hometown concept, how there's so many boys that are just from this area. Even though we have so many boys from this area, as strange as this is, we've had several boys come to our school that are from Florida that all went to the same high school together, went to Spruce Creek. I know John Burns is one of those, and Austin O'Brien.
Douglas Ward, Paul Ledgerwood, they're all from Florida.
So rare that we have that many boys come from a location that's so far away and all go to the same school.
And come to Wilmore, Kentucky, of all places.
It's great. I mean, as a coach, I feel like our coach has to be so ecstatic that he brought in players who already knew how to play with each other.
Coach Ben Andrews is now in his 5th season here at Asbury University. He's done a very good job with the program. Very good job.
He really has. You can tell he has a great connection with the boys.
He does. He actually, his little brother plays for Asbury. He's a sophomore here, Zach Andrews. And
I'm sure Ben probably likes that. Not sure about Zach.
Not sure about Zach. I think you're
we
right.
might have to ask him later.
Shawnee State with the ball.
I know my relationship with my brother or my sister, we would butt heads.
Exactly. Shawnee State with the kick, and that was known.
Offsides. The Eagles now have possession of the ball again.
John Burns kicks it up.
Shawnee State really not having any great looks at the goal.
They're not having those looks because of the pressure Asbury's put on.
So far, Asbury has definitely been controlling this game.
They have. John Burns, look at that kick. He's got such a strong leg.
One thing I like about John, a difference I've seen from last season to this season, is he is so much more vocal.
He is very vocal. I feel like for the goalie, it's important to be vocal. Very important.
I agree.
They're the playmaker.
He sees things that everybody else can't see.
Exactly.
He is behind everybody. He can see everything.
He's the only player that can see the entire field at once.
I typically watch the games from behind John, and he is always encouraging everybody.
Shawnee State with the kick. Goal by number 5, Ben Pulsford. He's a junior from England. Little friend from across the pond.
He is definitely celebrating over there on the field on his hands and knees.
You can tell Asbury, the Eagles are not happy with that goal.
One thing I hate to see, I feel like after that goal, kind of dropped our shoulders.
Exactly. And that's one thing mentally that we were talking about earlier that you really need to prepare for is whenever something goes wrong, it's over. It's done with. You need to move forward from it.
Ben Pulsford, who scored that goal there, very strong kick.
Adam Howard.
Celebrate after that goal, running down the field, holding his hand in the air. And I know for me as an athlete, that motivate me.
That does.
But I'm the same way. I show a lot of emotion. I get really excited. I'll often fist pump.
We just had Ryan Metcalf, a freshman here at Asbury, come to the game for Adam Howard.
Very rare that you see Adam Howard get subbed out.
Yeah, he's one of those players who plays a lot for Asbury. But Ryan's a solid player.
Ball flies into the stands once again. The score is 1-1 right now with 23 minutes left in the first half.
Throw in by the Asbury Eagles over to number 25, Landon Brown, who sends it back down the field to number 28, Jared Rocco.
Shawnee State takes over possession of the ball. You can definitely tell after that goal, Shawnee State has definitely gained some motivation. They are attacking. You just saw a spark come alive in them.
It's exactly right, and that's something Asbury needs to watch out for. Jesse Peterson coming into the box. He shoots, and it is no good. Shawnee State sends the ball back up the field. Number 10, Joseph Webster. Billy Congleton is on that player right now.
That we haven't scored another goal. So the good looks we've had.
We've had a lot of good looks.
We really have.
And that's impressive for Shawnee State, knowing that they haven't had that many looks and they haven't had that many good possessions on offense to go ahead and score like that.
I hope the Eagles. Soccer is a very long game.
Very long.
And it is a game of streaks and momentum. And it's just a matter of who's going to hang in there.
Exactly.
Who's going to continue to fight.
Exactly. Shawnee State now has possession of the ball. They throw it up the field. And it is hit by John Moran over to Chris Israel up in the air to number 10, Joseph Webster, who sends it over to number 24 for Shawnee State. And John Moran sends the ball back up to Jesse Peterson. Jesse dribbles up the right side of the court. And it is side tackled by Shawnee State. That is not something.
And are we going to see a card? Yellow card.
That is his first warning.
Yellow card, I believe, on number 17.
Number 17, Avery Patton. But showing the sportsmanship, Jesse just forgave him. That's one thing about Jesse. He has such a positive attitude. He's such a nice person on and off the field. In life, he's a great person.
I can honestly say I've never talked to Jesse and him not be in a good mood. One thing about the men's team that you don't see as much in women's soccer, you see more yellow cards and more red cards.
It's because of the amount of toughness that the men play with. Asbury with the free kick. It will be taken by number 8, Stephen Mitchell. The ref is
hold up here.
A hold up on the field. Asbury's done a good job this game so far. I feel like
they really have. The Asbury Eagles have been playing a 5-3-2 formation, and for those of you who don't know, that means we have 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 forwards.
They've done pretty well with it so far, and they've done well about the wings covering the field. They're covering as much as they can. Ball is hit by Shawnee State coming up the right side of the field over to number 28, Jared Rocco. And the ball is out, and it is Asbury possession. Caleb Young is now coming in for the Asbury Eagles. Caleb saw some solid minutes against Union 2 days ago.
Caleb is someone I really admire. He is a senior here at Asbury. He saw very few minutes last year.
Very few.
And for a player who is willing to stick through it all 4 years, you know, I'm glad to see him getting his moment here.
I got to talk with Caleb a lot before the game started over the past couple days, and he has such a positive attitude for this team.
The crowd is getting very excited.
The ball is now out of bounds. Shawnee State with the kick. It will be taken by number 9, Dylan Stevens.
Shawnee State has been very aggressive this game. They have 4 fouls and have had 1 yellow card that we just witnessed, while Asbury has only had 2 fouls. I'd like to see Asbury get a little bit more aggressive here.
I would too. I feel like they are a strong enough team to where they can play with just about anybody. And I don't think that their coach is somebody who likes to be outworked by another team. And Shawnee State with the ball coming up the field. He's dribbling to the middle. Number 10, Joseph Webster.
Last season, I think everybody was a little disappointed. We had some higher expectations for a men's team because they have so much talent, such a great team chemistry. So I'm really hoping to see them start to believe in their talent and to really see them come alive. I really feel like they're just right there.
They're right there. They're on that little breaking point. I feel like with the season that they've had so far, you can see that they're playing with passion. They're ready to play. Asbury now with a throw-in. The ball is in the air. Jesse Peterson with the hit. Over on the left side, there's a whole lot of pressure coming from Shawnee State. The whistle is blown, and it is now Shawnee State ball.
I'm going to give credit to the players who assisted those goals.
Yes,
we didn't name them, and that's something. The goal would have never been created if it hadn't been for that assist.
Exactly.
Chris Israel actually had the assist for the Asbury Eagles to Austin O'Brien. He is a senior here at Asbury. And Dylan Stevens had the assist to Ben Pulsford for his goal.
That's great for them.
Sometimes we focus in so much on the goals that we overlook the little things.
We forget how the ball actually got there.
I want to give those guys credit.
There's some pressure with the ball right now. Asbury comes out with it. Over to the middle. Dribbles. Garrett Davis sends it back down to number 8, Stephen Mitchell, who sends it back up the field and back down again to John Moran. John DeCongleton. Stolen by Shawnee State.
It's so frustrating because Asbury, I believe, has had 4 shots on goal, while Shawnee State has only had 1. They just maximized on their attempts.
Exactly. That's something Asbury needs to do as well, as maximize.
Ball is out of bounds. It is Asbury ball. It's thrown in towards the middle. It's in the box area. Shawnee State deflects it. Shawnee State is running the ball up the middle of the field. I will tell you, this boy can run, number 30. Ball is sailed out of bounds. Shawnee State is becoming much more active as this game has gone on. Number 30 for Shawnee State is Clement Osebansu. He's been very active. He's been one that's really impressed me. He's really ran the field well. Very great speed. Shawnee State is working the ball up the field. And John Moran steps in there. Dribbling the ball in midfield. Shawnee State retreating a little bit. Pushing it forward up the sideline. Shawnee State launches it forward. And offsides on Shawnee State. Shawnee State didn't appear to be too happy with that call. Asbury Eagles now have possession. Stephen Mitchell, number 8, with the kick. Launches across midfield. And Billy Congleton grabs the ball. And foul on Shawnee State. Billy Congleton seemed to get hit in the back of the head there.
He seems a little shaken up, Kylie. Yeah. But knowing Billy's
Maybe
toughness.
Frustrated, but he is a strong boy.
Yeah, one thing about Billy is his toughness, and it really does show because he doesn't really get down.
No.
I don't think that somebody can take him down. He's a tank out there.
I've never seen him get run over.
Exactly. He does the running over.
Always gets back up if he ever does fall down.
You did?
Wow. Very strong kick by Billy Congleton there. I thought that was going to be a goal there. Great pace on that ball.
Billy, one thing pretty funny about him, they were having just a little play amongst the guys, and he was shooting against the goal closest to the MediaCom building, actually sends it over the net, and it hits the building. Imagine a kick go that long. He's got a strong leg. He's got a cannon.
He really does. For those of you who don't know, our MediaCom building is sitting pretty far behind the goal.
Well a ways from the goal. Shawnee State now with the ball, sends it over to the other side of the field. Sends it up to number 17 for Shawnee State.
The ball's in the corner, and
it is out of bounds.
The corner is a dangerous place for the other team to be because that gives you great shot angles.
Very dangerous place.
Great opportunity to cross the ball into the box and head it in.
That's something Asbury does well, is with the head. When the ball's in the air, they do use their heads, and they send it in. John Moran getting ready to take the kick for Asbury University. John Burns. And he sends the ball up the field. And it is hit by number 25, Landon Brown.
I really think this game is crucial for the Eagles because where they just came off, they got to shake off this tough loss they just had. And they need to get their confidence back up. It's important to have your confidence going early in the season.
Yes, that's very true.
They're 1-1 right now. Want to get on pace with the winning record.
Kylie, something I'm noticing, how many whistles are being blown right now? You can tell these players are intense.
Oh, no questions asked. There have definitely been a lot of fouls called.
A lot. Shawnee State getting ready to take the kick. And it is sent up the field over to the box. And beautiful save by John Moran. He hit it right out.
Something about our boys I just think is really, really neat. Talking about the intensity of just men's soccer. Last game, there was definitely a lot of animosity, players arguing. A player actually kind of came up and got confrontational with John Burns, and I thought it was really neat. I was standing behind the goal, and I saw John Moran come up to him and was like, you know, calming him down, making sure, you know, protecting his teammate, making sure, you know, he didn't get that yellow card, he didn't get that red card.
That's good. That's good sportsmanship from Asbury. They're looking out for your team. We have a little break in the action right now. Asbury getting ready to take the kick. And the ball is sent and deflected from Shawnee State. Caleb Young gets his foot on that ball. And it is hit again.
Continuously fighting for possession.
Yes, that's something that's been back and forth the entire game.
John Moran getting feisty there.
Oh, and he goes down and back
17.
up, and the ball is hit back into the audience.
Highly impressed. Number 17.
For Shawnee State, Avery Patton.
Very impressed with the way he has hopped back up. That was a tough fall, and he did not hesitate. He was after.
He's like a ninja out there. Right now, number 9, Shawnee State, Dylan Stevens throws the ball in down the left side of the field. And the ball is missed by both Shawnee State and Asbury. Now John Burns.
See Shawnee State bickering here. We saw number 5, Ben Pulsford, and number 9, Dylan Stevens, kind of arguing a little bit.
A little tension out there on the field tonight.
Clearly, from what we've seen, they've been 2 vital players this game. One had the goal, one had the assist. And promising for us to see a little bit of tension.
Exactly. Now the ball is up in the air and is missed by Zach Andrews. Shawnee State coming up the middle of the field. and deflected by Asbury University, but back in Shawnee State possession. Now number 5, Ben Pulsford with the ball. He sends it back up the field. It dribbles in, and the shot is taken and over the goal. That was a nice miss attempt.
Number 5, Ben Pulsford, just from watching maybe some things that our audience can't see, I can tell he has been a very vocal player.
Very vocal.
You can tell he's
a playmaker.
He leads this team.
Yeah.
You can tell.
That's true.
Giving direction, a lot of players looking towards him.
Another good thing Asbury will be able to do throughout this game, throughout the rest of their season, they have a deep lineup. They have a solid bench. They can come in and just replace, and it still be okay for the team.
You can look over at the sidelines, and you can see some of Asbury's own players warming up over there, taking some sprints.
They're ready
trying
to play.
To stay loose. It's good to see. Sometimes it's hard when you aren't in the game to stay focused and stay motivated.
Exactly.
It's great to see them over there doing that.
There's a little break right now. And
I'm sure the boys are excited to get a little break.
Get a little breathing room. You can see there's a little huddle going on. Garrett Davis, senior, he is trying to make a play right now, you can tell.
You can see John Moran there in the middle of the field talking to a Shawnee State player.
That's showing the good sportsmanship.
2 Shawnee State players. Well, I'm curious to know what's being said. It's one of those moments you'd love to have a microphone out there.
Exactly. Now,
John Moran and this boy's still talking.
Well, it's a little heated, though. The players are ready to get back in now. You can definitely tell that. John Burns, Asbury Eagle from Florida, is getting ready to take the kick. He sends it up midfield. Zach Andrews on the ball for Asbury. Oh, and Jesse Peterson is down from number 22 on Shawnee State, Tanner Hopwood.
Asbury about to take the kick again.
Garrett Davis with the kick over to John Moran. He dribbles up to Zach Andrews, who sends it back down.
Launches it into the box.
And Shawnee State with the head.
Just can't get our foot on the ball.
That's true. Joseph Webster for Shawnee State with the ball. Deflected by John Moran. Over to, now we see Craig Moberly has come into the game for Asbury.
As I said earlier, Craig got injured last game. He was injured by a Union Bulldog player who got a yellow card.
We really weren't expecting to see Craig come into the game tonight.
I know Craig personally, and he is a very tough player. So if you see him stay down, you know he's hurt.
You know he really is hurt. He plays a lot like Billy. I think it's safe to say that. Very strong, kind of like a tank, and he's going to pressure the ball and pressure people with the ball.
Well, Craig is definitely a competitor.
Craig is a competitor.
I remember last year at one point during the soccer season, Craig's whole shin and leg was like purple and black, and he was still playing.
Craig's tough. He is very tough. Something that Craig does well also is he can win balls.
He can. He is definitely an aggressor.
He is an aggressor. Asbury University with the ball sent back up the field. Shawnee State now has possession. Over to number 9, Dylan Stevens, who sends it to the opposite end of the field. Over to number 30, Clement from Shawnee State. The ball is out. Asbury will now take possession of the ball.
You can tell number 30, Clement for Shawnee State, they've looked for him a lot.
They really have. He's the player who does not stop moving. And he's one of the first ones every time to get back on the ball. He wants it. He's hungry. You can tell.
I've said repeatedly just how fast he is. I have not seen a single player of ours outrun him on the sideline.
That's kind of surprising because
we have some fast guys.
Our team has a lot of fast people. Shawnee State coming up the right side of the field, deflected by Asbury Eagles.
Craig Moberly up there getting in the action.
Craig always gets into the action. That is for sure when he is into the game.
It's good to see him going after the ball, even though he may be hesitant after that injury.
That is true. Craig had a really solid game against Union on Wednesday.
Unfortunate that he got injured early in the game.
That is very unfortunate.
I think one of the hardest mental blocks for players after they get injured, it's so hard for them to just come back and have the same mentality they've had.
That is true. Asbury now with the ball coming up the left side of the field, and the ball is now out back into Shawnee State possession.
You can tell some of the Asbury players are getting a little tired. Feel like we're slowing down a little bit.
Luckily, there's only 8 minutes left in the first half. Score still 1-1.
Definitely want to hold on here. If we can't score another goal before half, it'd be great. It's great to go into halftime with that lead.
That is very true.
We definitely do not want to give up a goal before halftime.
Now Asbury Eagles will throw in the ball. And it is sent in the air on the breakaway. And it is deflected again by Shawnee State. Shawnee State will now take the throw in, send up the field. And number 24 for Shawnee State on the break.
Three Asbury players just jumped in there. They were not letting him go any further.
Good thing they won the ball since it was 3-on-1. Shawnee State now with the ball up the left side of the field. Number 9, Stevens with the ball. He's on the breakaway.
We see that number 16, Grafton Hamilton, is in the game. We talked about him earlier. He's a freshman that showed a lot of promise.
Grafton is a very quick player, and I feel like something he does well, he uses his height to his own advantage. He's good in the air. And Grafton actually saw some minutes in the game against Union, and he played pretty well. And I feel like he's a player who is going to develop very well for Asbury over time.
You see him cover a lot of ground. I would not be surprised if by the end of the season he is not playing more minutes.
Yeah, he's going to be one of those players that Asbury looks to.
He's definitely going to push.
Look at that footwork right now. He sends it over to number 17 for Asbury. They're in the middle of the box.
Ryan Metcalf, who actually is another freshman. And he has a lot of height, too. He is 6'2".
6'2", wow.
From Simpsonville, Kentucky, out of Martha Lane Collins High School.
Asbury now on the breakaway into the box. Caleb Young sends it over and deflected back. The ball is out. Shawnee State will take possession of it.
I just love the atmosphere here. I love the energy. The stands are full. You have tons of kids running around down here.
Yes, that is. I love that the kids are so close up on the action. You can tell that they're loving this.
I think the fans definitely have to motivate the players.
Oh, definitely. This being one of the main sports here in Wilmore.
With girls basketball, I know sometimes it's really hard to get yourself motivated because sometimes the stands, just aren't full. It's like when we do have a big crowd, they'll really get you going.
It pumps you up.
And
we have a perfect night out tonight in Wilmore. Clear skies. Now Asbury kicks it in. That was a good kick by Caleb Young, but saved by Shawnee State.
John Moran running up there, charging the ball, getting very aggressive in the corner there.
John always is aggressive.
John Moran, he's relentless.
He really is.
If I can describe him in one word, it's relentless.
It is. Now there's a little break. Shawnee State with the kick. Trying to make a play. He sends it back. Strong kick by Shawnee State. Number 5, Ben Pulsford, and he is down. You can tell he is very, very disappointed in that, and I think he may be a little shaken up.
This could be devastating for Shawnee State.
Number 5
he had a goal earlier, and you hate to see, as I was saying earlier, you can tell that he is showing great leadership out here. You hate to see a main player go down.
Ben Pulsford is one of Shawnee State's best players on their team. He comes
Limping
to us from England. He's a junior for Shawnee State, but at least he's walking off right now. That's a good sign.
He's being subbed out. Hopefully we'll see him back in the game after a while.
I'm sure we will. I feel like Shawnee State
players supporting him there.
They're a pretty tough team.
Looks like number 31 is coming in for him.
Joseph Winters in for the Bears. He's a sophomore at Shawnee State from Ohio.
I also wanted to point out this game has been moving so fast. And for our viewers at home, number 30 for Asbury University, Zach Brown out of Lexington, Kentucky. He played at Lexington Christian Academy. He is in the game now. He's been in the game for a few minutes now.
Asbury with the ball up the right side of the field and is out of bounds. Shawnee State will now take possession of the ball again. And solid throw John Moran again with his aggressiveness, and Shawnee State sends it down the field.
Jared Rocco running down that ball. John Burns swoops it up.
John Burns is he's playing very well tonight. That strong kick.
I can tell he's frustrated with himself not saving that goal.
That is true. Zach Andrews was in the fight for that ball. Shawnee State coming
attacking. And getting nervous, number 10.
And John Moran.
John Moran again, slice through there.
And he sends it.
And the ball sails into the stands.
That is the third time tonight the ball has been sent into the stands.
John Moran had to hustle to get that ball.
He did. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. The score is still tied 1-1. Shawnee State with the ball. They're coming up the left side, and the ball is deflected by Asbury Eagles. Shawnee State will remain with possession of the ball. Here's a kick coming from the corner. This could be dangerous for Asbury.
Number 31 kicking it in, Joseph Winters. He just subbed into the game.
Oh,
number 5 is injured.
Beautiful, beautiful save by goalie John Burns. Now he kicks it up.
John Burns was definitely tested there and definitely passed that test. Shawnee State throws the ball in. Working the ball into the backfield. We're advancing the ball. Number 17 for Asbury, again aggressive there. Shawnee State can't seem to get the ball across midfield here. Number 17, Ryan Metcalf, really putting pressure on the Shawnee State players here. Ball's kicked over to the sideline. A little bit of open space for Shawnee State. And he crosses it, launches it across the field over to, ooh, and a tough fall there for Craig Moberly. I hope he's all right. It's into the backfield. Stephen Mitchell with the ball, kicks it ahead. And Shawnee State takes over possession once again. Stephen Mitchell back in the action there, advancing it, pushing it forward. Advances it. Looks like Grafton has possession of the ball. Ryan Metcalf with the head. Both teams really aggressive right now. Ball sails out of bounds. Shawnee State possession. We are under a minute here in the first half. Looks like we're going to be going into halftime, 1-1. Shawnee State looking to attack down the field and try to get a shot at the goal. 30 seconds now. Advancing the ball quickly. And the ball is sailed away by Stephen Mitchell. Shawnee State throwing it in. Less than 15 seconds on the clock. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Asbury will be going into the half, tied at 1. The Asbury Eagles started off very strong in the first half here with an early goal by Austin O'Brien. And it seemed that Shawnee State started to pick up there in the last half. Shawnee State definitely took over as the aggressor there in the end.
we're going to pull a name out here. Call you out. Trey Allen, are you here? All right, Trey, come on out. Come on out, Trey. Trey, we're going to kick towards the far goal, scoreboard side, okay? We're going to put you down about the circle, all right? You get one shot, Trey. You're going to take a shot of that soccer ball, and where Kirby puts you, if you make it, you get a $15 gift card. Here, we'll give you a little music to get you in the mood. All right, Kirby, that's good. All right, Trey, yeah, one shot. One shot, and the gift card's yours. It's long enough, but it's wide. Wide, no good, no good. So let's pick out another name here. The next name is Ben Gavrick. Ben Gavrick. If you're here, come down. Gavrick. Ben, are you here? I'm being told that you're on the video crew. All right, Ben, hurry up. You got 3 seconds to get out on the field. All right, we're going to draw another name. The next name out of the box is Emily Rayner. Emily Rayner. Come on, Emily. Come on out here. You get your shot at $15 gift card.
I'm Kylie Gorby with Asbury University. I'm here with Nick Grounds, a goalkeeper for Asbury.
That's right.
Nick, I know you're injured right now. Can you tell us a little bit about the injury?
Well, I've been suffering some multiple injuries. I had an ankle injury this summer that kind of bled over into preseason. That was really unfortunate, so I've missed some time because of that. Picked up a concussion a couple weeks ago in training. I was just making a dive, and my neck kind of whiplashed and hit the ground. It wasn't very fun. And then now I picked up an eye injury last week. Suffered kind of a hemorrhage to the eye, so I've been out for that. And it's been an interesting recovery, but I should be back on Monday. That's what it's looking like, at least. So.
Great. That's nothing too serious. I'm so glad to hear that.
Me too.
For those of you who are just now joining us, we are going into the half with a tie at 1. Can you tell us what do you all need to do to win this game?
Well, I'll tell you, something last game at Union that I really liked is we had a combination play off a goal kick from one of our seniors, Caleb Young, and our midfield was just in sync. They were working well together. Adam Howard, Billy Congleton just played a 1-2 through to Caleb, and Caleb, with speed, just bursted in at the goal. And what I want to see is quicker play from our midfield. I want to see us get our outside backs. We're playing a 5-3-2 on defense and a 3-5-2 on attack this year, which means that we're pushing our 2 outside backs up. We have 5 in the back on defense, and when we transition onto offense, we push in 2 of our backs up, and they're getting in on the attack. What I want to see is people like Chris Israel, Craig Moberly making more runs up the wing. That way we can send some balls, and we saw Chris score earlier because he was doing what he was supposed to. He got up, sent a beautiful ball in, and Austin O'Brien just finished the job. I'd like to see them get more into the attack, and I'd also like to see our midfield moving the ball around a little bit more. When they get on the same page, those boys can really play together. Adam and Billy have been playing together for years, as well as Garrett Davis. Jesse played with them in high school too, so they all know how to play together. I just want to see the midfield move the ball a little bit quicker, and I think we'll see some more goals if we do that.
I felt like in the earlier part of the game, I felt like we were the aggressor, we were attacking, we were in control, and it seemed like the latter half of the game that Shawnee State just attacked. They got confidence from that goal, and they took over. I felt like we kind of dropped our shoulders. And coming off the tough loss that you all came off of against Union in double overtime, How important do you think this win is to getting confidence here in the beginning of the season?
I think this win is monumental. I mean, for us right now to set our season in the right direction, right now we're 1-1. We have a big game coming up against IPFW after this next week, and that's huge. They're a big D1 program, so they're coming here to play us. But it's just massive right now that we get a winning season going for us. We need to set the ball rolling right now. I think we need to take care of business on the field and get this win. I mean, go 2-1 on our record. I think Union it was unfortunate that we lost. We fought hard. I think it was a good game, but I really like to see another victory tonight because I think that would really start our season off in the right direction, get us some momentum going into next week. We got 2 big games next week. IPFW is going to be good. We know they're going to be good. They got some big talent on their team. They're a D1 program. So we're expecting them to bring it. I think we're going to need to bring everything we got, and tonight would be a great confidence builder.
I agree. I feel like you all have a lot of promise this season, a great, strong class. And I just thank you for being with us right now.
Absolutely.
Thank you for talking to us. Go get your team motivated.
Anytime.
I hope to see you all pull this victory out.
Yeah, go Eagles. Anytime.
We have a great crowd tonight. Asbury soccer gets so many fans. It's so awesome to see so many people out here and enthusiastic. And it's actually a whiteout tonight, so we have tons of students out here supporting the team.
We have a new guest joining us. The Asbury Lady Eagles women's head coach Lincoln, in her second season, is getting ready to join us. They just won, had a great game against Shawnee State, and right now she's on her way over here. Coach Lincoln, she set 4 main goals for Asbury this year, and last season, in her first season, she already made here, Coach. Coach, so tell us a little bit about the mission trip that you guys just took this summer.
Yeah, we had an opportunity this July to go to New York and work with an organization that's called 12th Rock Ministries, and got to put on soccer camps for 2 different communities, and one of the communities has the 2nd highest murder rate in all of the nation.
Wow.
And so for the girls and myself, we get down there, and that was really eye-opening to be right there in the heart of outside the city, about an hour and a half from the city. And
that's awesome.
But at the same time, it was a great opportunity for us to serve together, and I think it's really set the tone for kind of what the expectations are and how well we're working together so far this season.
Tell us about the Gatorade bottles that you all gave out.
Yeah, so this summer I was really spending some time with the Lord and just praying, what could we do specifically to make sure that we are doing things that are going to last eternally. That's something that's really important for us. We want to be competitive, but we're not a win-at-all-costs program. And so just one day it came to mind that, we need to do Gatorades and give the girls an opportunity to share their testimony. And so when we had wrapped up the mission trip our very last night, spent some time talking about serving, and I said, ladies, one of the things that we're going to do this year is that we're going to provide cold Gatorades and waters to the opposing team when the season's over, and each of you are going to have an opportunity to be a part of it by sharing your testimony on those Gatorades if that's something that you want to be a part of. So we probably had about 12 or 13 players who said, I want to be a part of that, and so they emailed me a short testimony, and we've attached those, and we've gotten some great feedback from some teams from it.
That's awesome. That shows that your heart is in the right spot with your ministry on the field, to not just win, but to show everybody why you're here.
Right.
And
well, we so often talk about that this is our field, our platform for worship.
Yes.
You guys the students go to chapel, and faculty goes to chapel 3 times a week, and that's traditionally what we think of as a time for worship. But for us, when we play, that's 2 hours for a time of worship for us as well. It just looks a little bit different than what most people think of.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good luck. You have a game on Tuesday, is that correct?
We've got a game on Tuesday against St. Catherine at 7 o'clock.
That's awesome. So come out 7 o'clock Tuesday night here in Wilmore against St. Catherine. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Go Eagles.
We're ready for the second half right now of the boys' game. It is tied 1-1. So we're ready for some action. I think it's going to be great. Nick is a player I can tell is very much missed on his team right now. That injury it's really shaken him up, and he's had to watch this past week where he's been, what he's been doing. He had an eye injury, and if he moves forward at all, he could possibly go blind. But luckily, the eye is one of the quickest healing parts of the human body, so hopefully Nick's going to be out there. Maybe not this season, but hopefully we'll see him back next season.
You can tell he's very passionate about the game, very passionate about the team, what's going on. Same for Coach Brooke Lincoln. Coach Brooke Lincoln really brings great passion to the women's program.
She does, and I love the fact that whenever she teaches her players, she's teaching them to show people the grace of God. I think that's great, and that's a great
Special
representation.
thing about Asbury.
Yes, a great representation. Now we're back in the action. Shawnee State sends the ball back down the field, and it is up in the air, hit by Asbury. Over to the right side, Garrett Davis with the ball right now. He sends it back up the field, and they're dribbling up.
Jesse Peterson with the ball.
Deflected by Shawnee State. Now they're coming up the middle.
Really hoping that Asbury comes out early in this half and gets aggressive.
I think it's exactly what the team needs right now.
As Nick was saying, this is a monumental game for us right now. The next game of the season is going to be a tough one. They know it's going to be a tough one. And they play Indiana Purdue University on Friday.
They've got a full week.
They have a full week, but it's going to be a really tough challenge for them. It's important to have their confidence going into that game.
I think it's going to be good for them to take a week from playing action to get their minds back in the game. John Burns with the kick up the middle of the field. Shawnee State now with the ball. They dribble, send it over to the left side. A little pressure by Asbury. A little fancy footwork from number 9, Dylan Stevens of Shawnee State. So no, there's number 30 again for Shawnee State, Clement.
Drops in the box, and John scoops it up.
Great scoop by John.
We really need to come out strong and just kill their momentum right now, because in the locker room, Shawnee State was talking about how, we can hang with this team, we can play with this team.
Exactly.
We may have lost this team before, but look at us now. They're feeling confident right now.
They're neck and neck.
We've given them that confidence, and we need
the ball is sent back to the box for Shawnee State, who throws it out. They're dribbling up the left side of the field, trying to make a play, but Jesse Peterson putting a little pressure on Shawnee State. Now we see Asbury with the ball again, kicked up to the center. Little one-on-one, sends it back down, played a little safe right now. Garrett Davis with the ball for Asbury, over to Caleb Young. Caleb's playing strong minutes right now. He's spending a lot of time today.
He really has. I think they're expecting a lot of senior leadership out of him.
Exactly. Now we have Adam.
Seniors just sometimes just click their senior year. They just get it. They just
get
attack. It's a whole new player.
It's a whole new reason to play. It's their last time to actually show people why they're here and what they're going to do with it. Shawnee State now has the ball. Coming up the right side, a little pressure by Asbury, and kicked out of bounds by number 28, Jared Rocco for Asbury.
Asbury definitely, they kind of hit a wall, and then towards the very end of the half, they got more aggressive.
They did.
Earlier in the game, the fouls were like 6-2,
Yes.
and now we're even at 6 here.
Jared Rocco with a strong throw in, and it is in the air. Billy Congleton on the ball, sent back down the field by Shawnee State, over back to Asbury. With a strong kick, Caleb Young running for it.
We see that Craig Moberly started out this half.
That's great. That's a great sign for the Eagles.
A usual starter for the Eagles.
Yes.
Did start this game, for those of you who are just now joining us.
I feel like when Billy and Craig are both in the game, there's just so much more defensive power from the way that they play. They're so strong. Jesse Peterson now with the ball. He's on the breakaway. He shoots it in and sent right over the net. Jesse's footwork's been his sending with the ball, it's been a little off this game.
That's now 8 shots on goal for us, and we haven't been able
We've only been able to make one.
to get many to fall.
40 minutes, 44 seconds left in the game. Score still 1-1. Shawnee State getting ready to send the ball back up the field. And the ball is in the air. A little battling from Asbury, and it is hit. Well, lots of pressure right now. Billy Congleton misses that ball. Shawnee State sends the ball to the opposite side of the field. I feel like that was a really strong move by them.
Shawnee State has possession of the ball. They kick it back.
Jesse
Peterson
Peterson
swipes in there, advancing it up the field, pushing it forward,
He's going for it again.
being very aggressive.
Jesse up the right
Amazing
side.
footwork.
He's amazing. He's an amazing player in general. Shawnee State sends the ball back up. Hit by John Moran over to Adam Howard. Adam took a little stop. He didn't really know what to do. He had two players on him. Jesse Peterson now on the breakaway, and he is down. Shawnee State is going to gain possession of the ball again.
Fun little fact for you, Garrett Davis leads the team in goals with 3 goals in 2 games, and he is currently ranked 18th in the NAIA in goals scored. And for Shawnee State, Joseph Webster actually leads the team in goals with 3 goals.
Webster has been a great player in tonight's game. He's getting his foot on the ball constantly. Caleb Young with the hit, and it is out of bounds. Shawnee State ball. Number 64 for Shawnee State will now be taking the throw in. He sends it a long distance down the field. Asbury now with the ball. Shawnee State takes possession again.
Shawnee State is also coming off a loss. So both teams here realize how monumental,
how
this
crucial
victory
this
could
game
be.
is, yes. Asbury sends the ball back up, and it is hit by Shawnee State.
And knowing that last year that we defeated Shawnee State on the road in a 2-1 overtime victory, that you know they're hungry for revenge.
You know they are. But hopefully Asbury's going to be able to come back tonight, get that win. Craig Moberly with ball out of bounds. And they finally called it. Shawnee State will now take possession of the ball again. Look at Billy's face right now. You can tell he's really frustrated with how the game's been going. He is not happy, which is not good for Shawnee State, because when Billy is not happy, he will take it out on them. Shawnee State with the ball. Billy Congleton now takes possession.
You saw number 30 in the mix there for Shawnee State.
Clement.
Looked up a couple of stats on him at halftime, just wondering what he'd been doing for his team this season. He has 2 goals on the season.
That's
so
great.
Clearly an active player.
And he's shown that tonight, constantly getting his foot on the ball. Shawnee State now with possession. Coming up the right side of the field. And hit by Asbury. Shawnee State will now kick it over to number 3, Josh Jackson. Send it back to number 30, Clement. Jackson now with the ball. He dribbles and he sends it over to the right side. Shawnee State seems to be slowing down a little bit. Looks like they're getting tired. Jesse Peterson putting a little pressure on the ball. And Garrett Davis sends it out. Caleb Young now with the ball for the Eagles. Garrett Davis over to number 25.
Landon Brown with a little bit of a run here.
Adam Howard now with the ball, and he sends it up. Craig's on his way to get the ball. He's going for it, and Shawnee State kicks it out.
Still Asbury possession, though.
That's good. That's a good sign for the Eagles.
Craig was just a little bit outran there.
Which is surprising, because Craig is a very fast player for Asbury.
He is, but Craig is also bulkier and stronger. And
he acts like a tank, though. Asbury now with the kick deflected by Shawnee State. Adam Howard now with the ball. He sends it back down the field to Jared Rocco, number 28. He sends it back to Craig Moberly, and Craig he's going for it. He's nearing the box, and he is taken out by Shawnee State. Asbury will now gain possession of the ball again. Now Billy is one Shawnee State needs to watch. He has a great corner kick because of his strong leg. And something else about Billy, he works well on his right and left foot. So that's a huge advantage for the Eagles and for Billy when it comes to where he needs to put the ball, what side of the field he's on, because he can use either foot.
I'm really looking for some energy from the Eagles right now.
I feel like
I'm looking for somebody to, get the team going.
get him pumped up. And the
Haven't
close shot by Asbury. It was hit twice and deflected out.
haven't really heard anybody get the team going here. Early in the game, we heard a lot of talking, a lot of action, and now kind of quiet down.
I feel like the crowd is vital for the team and how they play. And right now, you are right, everything is dying down.
But you have to be mentally strong and be able to play hard without the crowd
That's
working in
very
your
true.
favor.
Asbury with the miss, but they regain possession, send it back to John Moran. Shawnee State now with the ball and hit again by Asbury, sent down the field. Caleb Young gets his head on it there. Now Adam Howard with the strong foot, he sends it and blocked by Shawnee State. So close.
Tough action there. So many missed opportunities right now.
So many missed opportunities. Caleb Young, he almost had it. And in the game against Union, he was so close to making a goal. Hopefully Caleb can show up tonight. Maybe get a score in. Billy now with the corner kick. Billy Congleton, number 20. He's a senior here at Asbury.
Kind of seeing the same thing we saw in the first half. Early on here, we've had the ball.
Look at that strong
down where we
kick.
want it. I'm hoping we don't see the transition that we saw last half.
Very true. Shawnee State sends the ball back up the field, and it is hit by number 26, John Moran. Now number 8 for Asbury has the ball. Caleb Young gave up on going for that one. Shawnee State gains possession. Number 9, Dylan Stevens will take the throw in.
The ball is kicked into the backfield. Shawnee State launches it across midfield. Headed by John Moran, I believe. Caleb Young attacking. And a foul is called. Asbury possession.
I feel like the Eagles are tiring out right now. You can tell their momentum has gone downhill since that last goal, and they didn't gain it back over halftime.
People feed off energy. We just need to see one player to
Come
show
back.
some hope here.
Exactly. Shawnee State now with the ball over to the right side, and it is hit by Asbury. Shawnee State with the ball again.
Ball is in the box. Craig sends it back across midfield.
Billy Congleton with the ball. He's taking the breakaway up the left side. He's got a great look.
Oh. Frustrating.
I really
Clearly
feel
pushed
like
down there.
there
Clearly.
should have been a whistle right there. Shawnee State number 24 with the ball.
Definitely a missed call.
Yes.
I was hoping Billy would go ahead and take the shot right there. I felt like he had it.
And he's
He
got
just
the
went ahead
strong
and
enough
taken
leg where he can do that. Number 3 sends it over to Jesse Peterson. Jesse Peterson on the breakaway. He's nearing the box. He's going for it. Three Shawnee State players
Great
on him. He
footwork.
shoots.
And goal!
Goal!
Jesse Peterson. The crowd is so excited right now.
Beautiful
That's
shot.
what we've been looking for. Jesse has had 2 near misses, and right now he has had an amazing goal. Really attacked. Has some great footwork there to juke Shawnee State and put in the goal.
That was, did you see? It was not even near it. He was not going near the goal, and he hit the pole, and it bounced back in.
Again, several players have told me Jesse is just so crafty.
He is very crafty, and now I feel like that's exactly what Asbury needed. The crowd's now pumped.
That was the accuracy we have been missing from him this game, and we just saw it there.
Yes. Now we see senior Caleb Young was just taken out of the game. Shawnee State now with the ball back down to number 24. Jesse, he's playing aggressive.
Jesse just got himself hyped with that goal.
I think he really did.
You heard the crowd get excited, the team get excited. Happy to get that early goal.
Yes, Shawnee State with the ball. They're taking it in on the right side. It's in the air and hit by Asbury. Shawnee State gains possession again. Asbury now with the ball. Number 13, Garrett Davis over to Adam Howard. Adam trying to throw in a little footwork there. Chris Israel is back into the game for the Asbury Eagles.
Asbury definitely be more aggressive now.
Very, very, very much so. Shawnee State with the kick down the field.
Oh!
That was a
Hard fall.
hard hit. You can see his head.
Player for Shawnee State is down, number 10.
Number 10, Joseph Webster.
Joseph Webster, as we said, Joseph Webster has been a key for Shawnee State's team so far this season with 3 goals.
And if he's too shaken up, that might not be good for Shawnee State.
Looks like he's back up and on his feet. Didn't stay down too long.
That's a tough player right there. He had a hard hit. Shawnee State getting ready to take the kick. Looks like this is going to be.
Asbury consulting with the ref.
Looks like this is going to be an indirect kick for Shawnee State.
Number 9 with the kick, Dylan Stevens.
Dylan Stevens is a junior out of Canal, Winchester, Ohio.
Dylan Stevens had the assist on the 1 goal for Shawnee State tonight.
Look at that strong
Kicked into
kick.
the box.
And
Out of bounds. And I believe it will be Asbury ball.
Asbury ball. Goalie John Burns getting ready to take the kick for Asbury. John seems to be dragging a little bit in this half.
I think he's just checking out the field, seeing what spots are open. He's very
He sent the
observant.
ball far. Beautiful hit to Billy Congleton over to Adam Howard.
Nice control there.
Shawnee State does nice. Gets it back. Adam Howard with the ball again. Over to Chris Israel. Dribbles up the right side of the field. Look at that footwork. He's going against number 9, Dylan Stevens. And Dylan is down.
Looks like it's Shawnee State possession
Shawnee
here.
State has possession again.
Ball is kicked in and launched across the midfield.
That's one player for Shawnee State that's got a strong foot as well. The ball sent back up by Asbury. And Shawnee State now with the ball over on the left side. Sends it over to the right, and John Burns with the stop.
Really looking for Asbury to push the ball back up the field again.
Yes. Oh, that was a hard hit from the back of the head from number 22.
Oh, thought Jesse might be able to get to that.
Shawnee State with the scoop.
Just too strong of a kick there.
Number 3 for Shawnee State going against Jesse Peterson. Now Clement for Shawnee State sends it back down to number 22. Sends it up to the left side of the field. And, oh, Chris Israel lost his balance a little bit right there. Now on the breakaway. Shawnee State with the ball. And Asbury put on a lot of pressure. Managed to get it back. Asbury comes back up the court. Over to Adam Howard. He looks over to number 13, Garrett Davis. Now he's dribbling up the field and hit by Shawnee State. But looks like it's going to be Asbury possession. Quickly
Throws
thrown
into
in
Garrett Davis.
to Garrett Davis. And Shawnee State, look at that. Got it back.
I'd like to see Garrett Davis get some more touches. I know in the past 2 showings with Shawnee State, he has scored at least 1 goal in both of those games. And he is our leading scorer so far this year.
He's one of the main playmakers for Asbury. He's such a vital part to this program.
Another player who's pretty local from Woodford County.
See, another one of the locals. They're playing well together.
A lot of these boys have either played together in high school or played together in travel ball.
And it shows. It shows on the field from the way that they
does.
see where they're going to be. Asbury with a stop, but back to Shawnee State. They send it over to the right side of the court to number 5.
And it's over in the far corner with Shawnee State.
Oh.
Very nice footwork there.
Asbury deflects the ball, and Shawnee State gains possession again.
Dribbling the ball, kicks it into the box.
Garrett Davis with the save.
Craig Moberly with the ball,
And
kicks
that
it up the field.
Look at the control he
Billy
had on that.
Congleton running that down.
Oh. And sent out of bounds by Shawnee State, but it now will be Asbury ball.
Billy Congleton kind of gave that sly nudge there.
He did.
Very aggressive.
I love watching Billy play. He's great. Now we have number 17 for the Asbury Eagles, Ryan Metcalf, and number 9, Austin O'Brien, returning into the game.
I believe that nudge may have been payback for his hard hit earlier in the game.
I think you're right, Kylie. I'm surprised that Austin hasn't brought more minutes to this game. Being one of the better players on the team, I feel like we should have seen more out
Well,
of
as we
him.
had talked a little bit earlier, we're talking about just having to get into shape a little later than we had planned. And, you know,
Yes.
sometimes some players do better when they get that breather, when they can refresh, when they come back in.
Exactly right.
I think it's great that Coach Andrews can identify when he's tired, when he needs his break, and bring him back in so he can come in and be a spark for the Eagles.
Billy Congleton's corner kick is no good, sent out of bounds by Shawnee State. Asbury with the throw-in. Chris Israel will be taking that. Can't really decide where to put it. So many players. Gives it to number 3, Adam Howard. And sent back out again by Shawnee State. Adam Howard will now take the throw-in for the Asbury Eagles. And he launches it across the field to the box. And it is in the air. Asbury with the ball. Taken by Shawnee State. Oh,
I think it's pretty neat. Just notice that Asbury graduate, senior last year, Zach Welch, is here watching the game.
That's
he is now the
awesome.
head coach at East Jessamine here locally.
So he's one of the Jessamine County coaches who are going to craft some more
Yeah, I
players to
noticed
send
that
on to
some of his
Asbury.
girls, some of the East Jessamine Lady Jaguar soccer players are here watching the game tonight.
That's
Great that he
awesome.
brought his team out.
Chris Israel now with the kick into the box and hit by Asbury. And so close.
Great save by Shawnee State's goalkeeper.
That was
Justin Maulmeister.
he's a
great
great
save.
goalie. Great goalie. He's very
That was
intense.
a hard kick.
That was a very hard kick. I'm surprised. And actually, when he kicked it, it hit it, bounced back out. He had another look at it, sent it over the goal. That was
You could clearly see the excitement in his reaction on that save.
exactly. There were 2 missed opportunities right then by
Would have
Asbury
been
again.
huge to get that lead, that bigger gap, to increase the gap.
Shawnee State with possession of the ball, getting ready to be kicked. Sent up the field by Shawnee State, and it is hit by Asbury. Adam Howard sends it over to number 28, Jared Rocco, over to Austin O'Brien. And
Ooh, hard
little
ball for Austin
tackle.
O'Brien.
Asbury will remain in possession with the ball.
Austin O'Brien gets back up. See some good sportsmanship there with a high five.
That's always good. Adam Howard will take the throw for Asbury. Or take the kick. It is not a throw, it is a kick. And he launches it across the field. It goes into the box in the air over to Chris Israel, who kicks it over to number 25, back over to Jared Rocco for the Asbury Eagles, who sends it to Adam Howard. And deflected by Shawnee State. Now Shawnee State on the breakaway.
Clement was charging that ball.
He's just so
Thought he was
fast.
going to swipe it away from Rocco there.
I can't
And
get
he's
over
getting
the
the ball in
speed.
the corner there. John Burns slides in. Great decision by John Burns.
I feel like he's feeling a little bit better now after that one missed goal by him. John with the kick, and it is sent up the field. Shawnee State in the air, and it is out of bounds. Will be Asbury ball.
Seems to be Asbury possession here. Ball's about to be thrown in. Asbury has a 2-1 lead here with 23 minutes left in the second half, hoping to hold on to this lead.
Jesse Peterson working over there. He's had a lot of pressure on
Amazing
him recently.
footwork. I definitely think Jesse Peterson has the best footwork on this team.
Without a doubt.
Very crafty.
He's clean cut with what he does. John Burns now with the ball. He sends it back up the field to Grafton, has returned back into the game, the freshman for the Asbury Eagles.
Saw number 17, Ryan Metcalf, there in the game, trying to get his head on the ball there.
Another
Ryan
freshman.
Metcalf actually had a goal the other night.
Really?
He has 1 goal on the season.
That's awesome. Shawnee State now with the ball. Taking it up the right side of the court and deflected. Austin O'Brien just saved that. Great slide in. Great slide. Shawnee State with a throw in. Over to number 24, who sends it over to Clement.
Clement getting very aggressive. I really like him. I like the way he plays. I like the way he hustles.
He works the entire field, not just his side, not just his wing, but the entire field.
He's been everywhere tonight. Very active player.
Chris Israel had a lot of pressure from Shawnee State just then. Shawnee State ball. Throw it into number 21. Jesse Peterson after the ball, but he misses.
Ball's launched across the field. John Burns retrieves it.
John Burns has had his hands on the ball quite a few times in the second half.
John Burns scanning his options. Launches it across midfield again. And it looks like Ryan Metcalf is going to gain possession of this ball. Ryan Metcalf working up the field. Very long player. Kicks over to Grafton, a fellow freshman.
And Shawnee State, that
Grafton back in the action there. You have a very tall duo there between Grafton and Ryan.
Let's see, Grafton
stands at 6'3", and Ryan stands at 6'2".
That is amazing, and that really works in their favor when the ball's in the air. They can get their head on it, put it where it needs to be.
Definitely, this freshman class has brought some tall athletes.
And those freshmen are really going to develop over time for Asbury.
Ball's kicked out of bounds again.
Sent into the bench for Asbury. Shawnee State with a throw in. Goes down. Clement with the ball again. No, not surprising. There's a whistle on the field.
Not sure what the call was there.
But the throw in will be taken by number 9, Dylan Stevens, for Shawnee State.
20 minutes left in this game.
Scores 2-1. Asbury with the lead.
Hoping to see the Eagles expand.
The ball is sent into the box and deflected
Headed
out.
by Stephen Mitchell. Possession by Howard. Howard with the ball again.
Shawnee State now with the ball on the left side of the field. Taken up. Oh, look at the speed on that Shawnee State player. And Chris Israel is right on him. Sends it over to number 31. He's entering the box. He shoots, and that was not even close, Kylie. Now it will be Asbury ball.
You can see Shawnee State player stretching it out over there at half court. Until they're wearing down a little bit. Good sign for the Eagles.
Another freshman just entered the game for Asbury, number 5, Matt Young. I'm really impressed by the freshman coming in.
Another tall freshman standing at 6 feet.
John Burns sends the ball back up. Shawnee State hits it in the air and it is out of bounds. Asbury will take the throw in over to freshman Grafton. Austin O'Brien gets his foot on the ball. Ryan Metcalf battles it out. Shawnee State sends it back up the field. But Asbury gains possession again.
Grafton with the ball. Very active player.
Matt Young, look at the speed on him.
Matt Young and Ryan Metcalf are actually from the same county, and they went to the same high school.
Matt Young on the breakaway and slid in. Saved by the Shawnee State goalie. That goalie for Shawnee State, he's tough. He's really tough.
He is.
Plays with confidence.
Definitely takes care of his team. Definitely can rely on him.
Number 12, Doug Ward, into the game. Doug is one of the Florida players joining us. He was one of the ones who went to school with John Burns, goalie, and Paul Ledgerwood. He's a solid player for Asbury. Last year, his freshman year, he saw some solid minutes. He played really, really well. Shawnee State with a throw-in. And hit by Asbury University. Chris Israel sends the ball back up the field. Asbury battling it out for that
blocked
ball.
over there. Clearly blocking him.
Good whistle right there.
Felt like I was watching football there for a minute. Kind of frustrating. Felt like we had a clear line to the goal.
Exactly. Asbury will have possession. Chris Israel is going to take the kick for the Asbury Eagles. Chris is a player who has great faith outside of the field, not just on the field. He's such a leader to his team and to this university. I really respect him for that.
Our soccer team, I'm not sure what it's called. You may know, Abby.
Okay.
But after the game, they always come out to the stands, and one player gives a testimony.
I think that's just great. It's great that Asbury does that.
Great that they implement that into what they do.
Exactly.
When you look at Asbury soccer, you don't just see a soccer team.
You see a family.
You do.
A family of God, too. Asbury now with possession. Austin O'Brien takes it up. Deflected by Shawnee State. Number 21 with the ball over to number 31 for Shawnee State. He comes up the right side of the field. And Asbury with a nice save right there.
Looked like Craig Moberly slid in there, deflected the ball away.
He did. Shawnee State will take possession of the ball. And looks like number 3, Josh Jackson, will be the one with the hand on the ball for Shawnee State.
Shawnee State is truly fortunate that they are only down by 1, with Asbury having 13 shot attempts compared to their 4.
It amazes me that how many shots Asbury's taken and how off the mark they've been.
But as we were saying, Shawnee State, speaking very highly of their goalie, he has had 4 saves tonight.
4 saves.
Really
That's
stepping
awesome
up for his team.
It's a little break in the action right now.
You can tell we're just wearing down. Everything's getting a little slower here.
Slower
Ball's
pace.
thrown in.
Number 16, Grafton with the ball. It is sent out of bounds. Shawnee State will take possession with the throw-in. Asbury takes it. Shawnee State wins it back.
Asbury fighting for the ball here. Want to try to get that ball across the midfield. Asbury with possession.
Jared Rocco will take the throw-in for the Asbury Eagles. He's got a strong arm.
Cap, and it is kicked out of bounds. Possession Shawnee State here.
14 minutes and 29 seconds left in the second half of the game. Score 2-1, Asbury Eagles. Grafton,
Nice
beautiful
header there by
head in
Grafton.
the air.
And a header by Doug. Ball is down where we want it. And it's kicked out of bounds.
I really
But
like
it remains Asbury possession.
I really like the lineup Asbury has right now. They're playing solid freshmen. Doug's playing solid minutes. Austin is working really, really well with those forwards right now. I think this is a good lineup right now.
I truly feel that Grafton and Ryan are a great duo when they're together.
They really are.
And I would be highly surprised if we don't see them playing larger minutes towards the end of the season. They're really going to challenge some of these veteran players.
It seems
They're
like
coming in with a lot of confidence.
yes, they
making
are.
statements here early.
It seems
I've
like
watched them for a few minutes, and I see them just taking control.
exactly, and that's hard for a freshman to do, but they're doing it well. Asbury with a throw-in. Chris Israel with the ball, senior.
Waiting for the go call from the ref.
And it looks like Shawnee State makes a quick substitution.
And it looks like
It'll be
number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12.
Braxton Jarvis.
Subs into the game.
Shawnee State taken by Matt Young. Man, look at the intensity in the way he plays.
He's a fighter.
He really
I like
is.
this freshman class. I like the fire they're bringing. I feel like for freshmen, sometimes it's really intimidating
Yes.
coming into a team with so many veterans, with so many seniors. You know, coming into school, you know, you're having to adjust to college.
And being able to play the way that they're playing.
And with the fire they're playing with.
Exactly.
They're not scared. They don't look scared. You don't watch them and think they're freshmen.
Exactly. Looks like Austin O'Brien and Chris Israel sharing a few words.
Specifically, Ryan, Matt, and Grafton, they're really playing like veteran players.
They are. They really are. Austin O'Brien getting ready to send the ball into the box, and a
Whistle is blown. Edging into the 10-minute mark here.
13 minutes. Austin O'Brien looks like he's going to take another kick for Asbury University. I feel like they're really liking
We're
this
in good position
slight
right now.
break right now.
Gives them a little breather.
He sends
Launches
it in.
to the box, kicked out of the box. Shawnee State pushing it up the field.
John
Retrieved by Asbury.
John Moran sends it over to Jared Rocco, who sends it back down the court to number 8, Stephen Mitchell. Looks like Grafton lost his footwork a little bit.
Stephen Mitchell, another guy we haven't said a lot about, but truly just a great leader for his team all around.
Yes, I agree with you. Stephen does very well. He's the
great kid, very coachable.
I would say Stephen is the best defensive player for Asbury. He's a solid rock, and he's shown that constantly throughout tonight's game.
We have a pretty solid defensive line.
Matt Young sends the ball back up, and it is hit in the air by Shawnee State, and they send it out of bounds. Asbury University will gain possession of the ball again.
Kicking it up the sideline there, Asbury University. Working up the field. It's either Grafton and Ryan. Hard to tell. They're both built just alike.
They look like twins out there.
They do.
Grafton with the ball. Shawnee State takes the ball up the right side
forward,
of the field.
being very aggressive here.
Stephen Mitchell steps in.
And a whistle is blown.
Looks like Grafton got a little shaken up by that hit.
Been a lot of whistles this half. Totally different tempo and pace of game. First half was more faster pace and aggressive, and now we're slowing it down.
Second half, they're having to push through really bad.
You know, at this point in the game, this is where, you really have to dig down deep and you have to fight. People are getting tired, and it's about who wants it more.
Exactly. Number 9, Dylan Stevens for Shawnee State with the ball. Sends it to the middle. Matt Young is playing strong defense against him.
Stevens with the ball again.
And
launches it across the field. Headed by Rocco.
Rocco's great. He's playing great. Oh. Missed.
Very, very rarely that you see this at that level, but looks like a Shawnee State player just whiffed on the ball there.
he recovered. Oh, strong hit right there. Doug Ward went down, but he came right back up.
I'd say that Shawnee State player is probably hoping we hadn't had a close-up on him just then.
Very true, Kylie. Very true.
Oh,
Shawnee
find
State
humor in it, though.
Oh, yeah. Shawnee State with the ball. Oh, he hit it that time.
I can't say much. I've airballed free throws before.
Matt Young with the ball, and he goes down. Shawnee State gains possession. Sends it over to number 21, who sends it into the middle. And John Burns.
Clement going aggressive after that ball. Huge that Clement got that ball. Ball sails out of bounds.
Looks like Jared Rocco had a foot on that ball, too, that helped send it out of bounds over the net.
Number 30, Clement, is just still fighting. Very aggressive.
I feel like he's seen the most minutes for Shawnee State. He hasn't been subbed at all.
You can't even tell he's tired.
Exactly. Jesse Peterson and Billy Congleton return to the game for the Asbury Eagles.
Tell John Burns is wearing down back there, stretching out a little bit before he sends the ball over to his teammates. Backing up, preparing to take the kick.
I'm really proud of John and the way he's played tonight. And he sends it strong up center field, and it's hit by Shawnee State. Shawnee State sends it over to the left side of the field, deflected by Asbury. Oh, a little shove right there from Shawnee State. And number 25 for the Asbury
Landon Brown
Eagles.
was shielding that ball there.
He was. Chris Israel with the kick, and
we've got a breakaway here. Jesse Peterson, so quick, going towards the goal. Launches it back.
Garrett Davis with
the
the kick.
Pass. Amazing assist by Jesse Peterson. Amazing assist.
That was beautiful. He could have easily taken the shot himself, but the fact that Jesse's such a team
Griffin
player.
Davis got that goal. Once again, I'd said he had scored in their past 2 meetings, and once again, he scores here.
Score now. 3-1. Asbury Eagles with the lead. That was a beautiful, beautiful play.
Amazing assist.
Yes, Jesse had a great assist there.
Overlooked the goal by Garrett Davis because I was so impressed with that pass.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Jesse shows that he's not a selfish player by doing that. Shawnee State with the ball.
Working
Coming
up the field once again.
Clement gets his foot on the ball again. That's
So quick, very crafty too. Kind of reminds me of Jesse Peterson the way he plays.
He plays a lot like Jesse. Now the ball sent over to the left side of the field. Shawnee State with possession. And it is sent out. Asbury University will gain possession of the ball.
We are under 10 minutes here in the second half.
Score 3-1. And
Glad we got that gap there. A little extra padding. Kind of allows us not to rest, but to just feel a little bit more peace about the situation
more
right now.
security right there. Shawnee State now gains possession over on the left side. It is thrown in. The ball
Working up
is
the
sent.
field. Asbury taking possession back.
Jesse Peterson gets his foot on it. I'm anxious to see what he does.
Great footwork. Sent back, I believe, to
Landon
Landon
Brown.
Brown. Austin O'Brien with the ball.
Austin sends it up middle of the field. Hit by Shawnee State. Oh, and Shawnee State on the breakaway. Number 21. And it is taken by Jared Rocco.
Stephen Mitchell does a great job of protecting that back line.
Look at Chris. He's coming up. He's coming up the middle.
Nice footwork there.
He's working hard. Garrett Davis with the ball now sends it over to Adam Howard. Ooh, that was beautiful, beautiful
Garrett
kick.
Davis with the header.
Shawnee State now.
Still fighting for the ball. Jesse's got possession. Excited to see what happens here. Jesse is being pressured hard.
He worked hard. Shawnee State sends the ball back down the field. John Moran sends it on down to John Burns.
John Burns kind of resetting everything, regathering the team. Things got a little
And
hectic there.
He sends it back up. Hit by number 12 from Shawnee State. And
Rocco sends it back across the midfield, and Austin O'Brien is charging this ball.
Austin gets
O'Brien
the ball.
regains possession.
And he's looking to make a play, sends it over to Jesse Peterson, junior here at Asbury. Jesse, beautiful, beautiful. He's got a good shot. He's in the box, and unfortunately, Shawnee State takes it back.
I mean, talk about just man of the match. Jesse Peterson has just stepped up huge here. I truly believe if there was a player of the game, as of right now, I'm going to Jesse Peterson. Jesse stepped up, made that big goal when the energy was down, got his team going again, and then gives his teammate, momentum by giving him an awesome assist.
Jesse is really good at creating something out of nothing. He's quick. He's a great dribbler. He's good at finishing the ball. He's just a great player.
He just stepped up huge for his team in the second half. It's great to see that kind of leadership. He totally took the team on his back. He's been the aggressor here. He's created good looks at the goal.
Looks like Craig Moberly is coming back into the game, and Austin O'Brien and Chris Israel are now out. Caleb Young also returning in for the Asbury Eagles. Caleb's seen a lot of minutes tonight.
He really has. Really excited to see that for a senior.
Billy Congleton hits the ball in the air. Garrett Davis gets a head on it. Jesse works hard, but deflected by Shawnee State. They're dribbling up, taking it over to number 12, Craig Moberly, putting some pressure on Shawnee State. Shawnee State, they're on the breakaway, and Asbury wins.
Number 13, Chris Wiggin, this game now for Shawnee State is bringing a spark of energy.
Yeah.
You could tell Shawnee State was kind of slowing down, kind of lost some confidence here with, 2 goals by Asbury here in a short period of time.
That's right.
Looking for that late spark.
Let's talk about the new addition to the Asbury University roster. A guy named Cliff. He used to play last year. Cliff actually took a semester off to do block scheduling and ended up not working out. So the Asbury Eagles are very glad to have Cliff back on the team. He's working hard, trying to get his conditioning level back up.
Great to see a group stick together.
Exactly.
Adam Howard working the ball up the field. Kicks it over to Landon Brown, advances it to Garrett Davis. Landon Brown being pressured there.
Billy Congleton now with the ball, and a little shove right there. I don't think Billy liked
Congleton
him.
showing some physicality here.
I don't think he liked that play too well. Shawnee State now has the ball.
Kicking the ball up the field. Headed by Asbury player. Asbury works up the sideline. Advances it to Garrett Davis. He kicks it up into the corner and is chased down by Asbury Eagle, Jesse Peterson. The ball is kicked back. Across the field by Caleb Young. And Shawnee State goalie saves it.
Shawnee State with the kick. They send it back up the field. Jared Rocco in the air and sends it over to Landon Brown, who sends it up to Adam Howard. He's making some fancy little footwork. He advances it over to Jesse Peterson, taking up the right side of the field. He sends it in and stopped by Shawnee State.
Jesse Peterson, we've been talking, he's able to create something out of nothing. He has gone some.
He really has. Caleb Young fighting hard for that ball. A whistle rightfully blown. Shawnee State
ball.
Yes.
Game is nearing an end here. We are just under 3 minutes. The Asbury Eagles are up 3-1 against
like
the Shawnee State Bears.
Number 9, Dylan Stevens, will be taking the kick for Shawnee State. He sends it far into the box. And Adam Howard with a head on it. And Asbury comes out with the ball. Sends it over to the right side of the field.
It's out of bounds. You know Shawnee State has to be a little disappointed having lost in overtime last year to the Eagles, and now just the Eagles kind of dominated the game.
They really have, it's got to be heartbreaking also because it was tied for so long and they had such a momentum going for both teams. But Asbury did good on once they got a lead. They made sure they made that gap even bigger.
It looks like the Eagles are going to pull this game out here unless something absolutely crazy happens.
Under 2 minutes left in the game. Score 3-1 Asbury University. And John Burns with a nice hit on the ball. Shawnee State with possession again, and they're looking to score right now.
Beat here by Chris Wiggett.
And Craig Mowerly sends it out. Now we have Billy Congleton with the ball.
Jesse Peterson running it down.
And
that ball sails out of bounds.
Strong kick by Shawnee State. Asbury University will gain possession. Craig Moberly with the throw-in for Asbury University. Makes a play for Billy Congleton. He's battling out. Shawnee State with the hit. They're dribbling up the field, and Jared Rocco gets his head on it in the air. Landon Brown over to Craig Moberly. Nice side tackle by Landon Brown.
Shawnee State hits his own player in the back, nails him. You can tell he's clearly frustrated by that.
Adam Howard now with the ball for Asbury University, and Shawnee State.
Under a minute
takes
here
it away.
at Asbury University in Wilmore, Kentucky. Eagles staying aggressive and just finishing this game out strong. John Burns with the ball.
Nice scoop by John Burns.
The crowd is getting animated as we can see that this is going to be a victory for us.
About 30 seconds left in the game for Asbury and Shawnee State. And in the air, hit by Shawnee State, bounced back over. Nice hit by Garrett Davis. Garrett really has played a strong game also. Shawnee State will now gain possession of the ball with a thrown in. We can now hear the crowd. They know they've got it won.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Asbury University will take away the win tonight. Looks like they are now 3-0 against Shawnee State University.
Asbury's season record now goes to 2-1 as they get the 3-1 victory over the Shawnee State Bears tonight. Tonight we saw goals from Jesse Peterson, Austin O'Brien, and Garrett Davis. We saw an assist from Jesse Peterson and Chris Israel.
Asbury really, really showed up tonight. And now we see handshake between Asbury and Shawnee State showing that good sportsmanship. Asbury.
Great sportsmanship shown there. A couple players giving knuckles to the official.
It's crazy to think that after all the intensity of the game, all the whistles, all the warnings, all the fouls that were given, they don't care at the end. They're all healthy, they're strong, and they did well.
Great game, very monumental win for us, you know, for the season going forward.
Now,
very happy to get this win. As Nicholas Ground said at halftime, that this was vital to the season.
it was vital, and now we have a score 3-1 Asbury University with the win. And the next game we can expect from Asbury will be next Friday here in Wilmore.
And I'm Kylie Gorby here with Abby Witt, and we are signing off.
Signing off.